7 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm Dave Globe, and you're not. Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live is on the air. We are live on the Dave Globin profile on Facebook, also on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Both have live chats, and you're more than welcome to join us there. Give me a second here, and we'll get... that's the link on the screen if any one of you want to join us. Once we get going, give me a minute here to get down to the live post on my page and make sure I get the live chat going. And bear with me. I can see it's going to be difficult tonight. There it is. No. There it is. Live chat's going on the Dave Wogan profile, so come join us there if you wish. I have one question tonight. I don't know what anybody else is going to bring. My one question is simply going to be enough talk about what can happen and what will be left of our communications capabilities should anybody attack our communications infrastructure or decide at any one point to shut it off and keep us in the dark over what is going on between us and the rest of the world. And I'm not putting the blame on just Democrats. There are plenty of rhinos. There are probably even some Democrats that are involved in it, and conspiracies that go far up and above beyond Joe Biden and probably far down and below Barack Obama. But, I go to bed every night, and I'm one of those that I pray before I go to sleep that if I wake up in the middle of the night, I still remember who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, who's with me, and life. And but if I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't use the internet for any reason because it's not there, because they turned it off, I can't call anybody because they turned off cellular phones and everything else, then I don't know. Let me make one change here. Let me put me on the bottom. There we go. And I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I just hear that it's a possibility that they could shut us off and leave us in the dark at any time. I don't know if they'll do it. I think it's more of a scare tactic than anything else. But if you ask other people, they will tell you it's probably a threat that you should pay attention to. Anyway, with me tonight, Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. over on Rumbleland. And the genealogist to everybody on social media, Randy Rhodes, is with us. And let's see, turn it over to Randy for a minute to make a statement. We'll turn it over to Jerry. And we'll get to tonight's testimony already in progress.
Well, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of two events that have taken place.
I don't have your audio, Randy.
Am I still in delay?
Hello?
You're aware of two events that have taken place. Am I still in delay?
I hear him.
I don't know, Randy. If you are, it has to be on your end. I did everything I could on my end, and there is nothing on my end that would be causing me to be on delay.
Well, I changed browsers.
I don't know. In the meantime, Jerry, why don't you flip your mic on and go ahead and do your...
Well, I changed browsers.
Whoop. I don't know. Well, play with it, see what works. If it does, Randy, great. If not, we'll have to figure out something. But Jerry, go ahead and do yours.
All right. Well, somebody has the show on. I hear myself.
Go on.
Okay. Let me check. Let me go away and check one thing for a minute. There's only one other thing that could be, that shouldn't be.
So Jerry and I are both on delay mode.
Hold on. Let me check one other thing. It could be
on delay mode.
Well, okay. I don't have anybody on delay, and I have nothing on Facebook that is on or open. that could be causing it. So I don't know. I have no
I'm gonna
devices
leave
in
and
here
come
on
back.
Facebook. We're live on StreamYard on my end.
I will leave and come
With
back.
nothing open on Facebook.
Yeah, I tried that.
Try
It didn't work.
Come back.
Okay. Yeah.
I will.
All right. Jerry left.
Come back.
Jerry will leave, and
I
he'll.
tried that.
Yep. I don't have anything on. I don't have anything on that is connected to Facebook. With Facebook open to cause any leak. But anyway, we'll try it. We'll give it our best shot. If it doesn't work, then we'll call it a night early. But let's see if we can get it working. All right, Jerry, you're back. You can see if yours is working.
Hello.
No.
How you doing?
I didn't break Facebook, Billy.
Hello.
I didn't break Facebook. I tried to, but I didn't.
I'm here.
And yeah, I don't have. Let me try. Yeah, I don't have anything. So
Can you hear
it's
me?
going to be a pain. I'm sorry, but we'll try it. If we can get it fixed and we can get it going, guys, then we'll go. If not, then I apologize. We're just going to pull the plug on it, and things will get thrown against the wall. Try it, Randy, and see what you got.
Yeah, I'm still on delay as well.
All right, I don't have you, Randy. Try you, Bill. You, Jerry.
Hello. How you doing?
All right. The only thing I can do is shut down, reboot, and try to come back in, but that means that you're here, Jerry. All right, I hear you. I'm doing okay. I'm just frazzled because everything should be working right, and it's not.
Dave, if I'm on a delay, it's because my internet sucks.
Your audio is not coming through.
No, it's not
Your
you,
audio's
Jerry,
not
because I'm on
coming
delay
through.
as well.
If I'm on a delay, it's because my internet sucks.
Well, Randy's on a delay, and his internet doesn't. And I checked my internet. My speed actually doubled this afternoon. So I don't.
Let me
I don't
reboot
know.
my computer.
Jerry,
Dave,
see
I'll
if you
come
want
back.
to come back in, and if it works, it does. Randy,
I'm going to reboot and come back.
try it, and if we can't get it to work, then I don't know. But well,
I'm going to reboot and come back.
all right. Randy's going to reboot and come back. It could be Jerry's internet. That's 100% true. It could be Randy's internet. Michael says he has the sound fine. Michael, you're welcome to come on if you want. The only thing I said, like I said, that I had to bring up today was what happens if you just wake up one morning and there's no cell phones, there's no internet, there's no conventional phones, there's just no means of communicating with anybody. What are you going to do? I don't know what people seem to be doing, but I keep hearing more and more that some of those that are planning to go off the grid are talking about ham radio. And I just wish one of them would tell me what they think is so secure about ham radio that if all of the other means of communications got attacked, why that would leave ham radio going. Don, echo cancellation is on. I've reduced background noise. I'm not using stereo audio, so that's turned off. I'm just using the Chromebook mic, and I've adjusted the Chromebook mic to go automatically so that if I scream, it makes me softer, and if I don't talk loud enough, it makes me louder. So I don't really know. It's one of those days here around the Boogie with the Bull studio. Let me see. Mr. Palmer, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me, Stephen?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can't hear you. I don't know if it's on my end. I don't know if it's on StreamYard's end. I don't know if it's Facebook playing.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
And I can hear you, then that's how we'll do it. And if we can get other people in, then then that would be great. Let's see. Jerry's going to try to come back in. So let's see what happens with Jerry. Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You can hear me. I can't hear you. Is that correct? Blink once for yes.
Yes.
Okay. You can hear me. All right.
I hear you.
And we
I
will
can hear
try.
you. Yeah.
Those are not-
This would
Okay.
be my internet, can hear Dave. My you, internet yeah. sucks.
Okay, good. Well, then we'll just
Are
go
you
ahead
hearing
and
Steven?
see what we see.
My internet, Dave. My internet sucks.
Okay. Well,
Are you hearing Steven?
I hear Steven. Steven can hear me.
Yep.
Michael says everything is working, so we'll just do it. And if your internet gets in the way, then I apologize, and we'll try it again on Thursday. But for now, like I said, my thing tonight was just to try to figure out what people who are prepping for what could happen are doing as far as having some means of communications. I understand a lot of them are looking at ham radio, but I still want to find out what do people who are prepping think about the possibility that if every other means of communication known to man, both on and off the grid, suddenly disappear, why would ham radio still be there and nothing else would? You might be able to answer that, Stephen. I don't know, but you're the king of the preppers here, so what do you think?
We have a gentleman in our group that does have his ham license.
And now I don't have Stephen.
You can't hear me? We have a gentleman in our group that does have his ham license in the ham radio.
That's 3 for 3 being
You
out
have
of
a
sync.
major delay. Hang on a second. Jerry has a major delay. Stephen is cutting in and out. Randy, what are you doing?
Out of sync.
Out of sync.
All right. You know what, guys? Take me 15 minutes to tear this one down and bring it back on a different studio and see if that's okay. Otherwise, we can just pull the plug and it didn't work, and we'll come back on Thursday. And tomorrow night, everybody should be on the American Rebellion over on Rumble, and hopefully we'll just make it up over there. Michael, I know you can hear me, but I'm not getting Randy, and Randy's saying that he has a delay, and Stephen is cutting in and out too. So I don't know what to do. And like I said, Alan, the only thing I have, Alan, is like I said, I wanted to ask all of the preppers out there, the people that are planning to go off the grid, what it is you plan to do if you're looking at ham radio and ham radio gets flushed and turned off too. So it's kind of hard to get an answer if Stephen, who is a prepper and planning to go off the grid, is losing his audio and can't get through to me. But try it, Stephen. What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Your voice is delayed, Stephen, by like 10 seconds.
Let me go out and try to come back in.
It doesn't work, Stephen. That won't do it. I already did that 3 times. By like 10 seconds.
Okay, you're delayed. Stephen, do you have something on?
Stephen, that won't do it. I already did that 3 times.
Okay. All right,
thanks for the earshot, Stephen.
Okay. You can hear, Jerry says he can hear you and Randy. Michael says he can hear everybody okay. I'm getting
earshot, Stephen.
I'm getting Randy fine now.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have nothing on,
Randy.
nothing different.
I'm still on delay for you.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm not getting Randy. Hi, Chihuahua.
Something different.
I'm still on delay for you.
Randy has a delay.
Yeah. With me?
Okay.
No, we all have delays.
Randy has a delay.
It's going to
William
wind up,
says he can
Steven.
hear you all.
It's going to
I
wind up.
looked around on my end.
Like
I don't
Amish.
have
And then I'm
anything that is.
we all have delays. Yeah.
I don't have.
I live like the Amish. And then like.
I don't.
They keep
have,
delaying on me.
and I don't know if these will work.
Delay.
Let me try something very quickly and see if it.
They keep delaying on me.
Let me try something very quickly. I don't know if it will work. It's.
Mine usually works.
Let me see. Could be on my end. The Chromebook is on its way to dying. So let's try and see if. No. All right, the Chromebook crashed. Rob and I apologize for that. The Chromebook crashed. Let's see if Randy and Steven can come back and see if that takes care of it. Well, we don't need to use your StreamYard, Michael. We get it all figured out. There's nothing going on. The Chromebook took an update like it was supposed to. It was working fine this afternoon. We used StreamYard this afternoon, and everything was working right. But, stuff happens when you go live, and you never know. So we can start a conversation between me and the live chat if people want. Otherwise, we just... I don't know. You just kind of pull the plug and see what happens. I know William said he heard us. Jerry said he was hearing everybody. Yeah, technology is terrible, but also probably a week and a half ago when the Chromebook wouldn't load right and the keyboard was messed up, and I took my right hand and smashed it as hard as I could because I couldn't get it to do something that I needed it to do. On StreamYard at the moment, that probably damaged the Chromebook, and we won't be replacing it till probably the middle of January or in February. The other option is to bring back the Windows 10 tablet with the docking station and go out and buy a webcam and use Chrome that way. But let's see. Don makes a comment that says, Mr. Globan, ham radio and other personal radios, CB radios, are owned and operated by hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. So even with power outages, we still have batteries and generators to power such communications equipment. That's not so much the question, Don. The question to me is that if the FCC basically finds themselves with every means of communication known to man being shut off, what does that do for communication? I mean, I know that I know and I trust that people who have hams and have CBs and have other means of two-way communication have plenty of batteries and or power means for powering those radios. What I'm talking about is that either something happens that either knocks off every conceivable means of communication from being able to be used as that means of communication. What happens that way? Robin says that she's never used a Chromebook. She's more of an iPad and iPhone person. Oh, I understand that, Robin. iPhones are great. iPads are great. We used one temporarily, but we didn't keep it. We didn't keep it around permanently. And also it's no longer, the iPad I have is 3G cellular, so I gave it away because I can't use it because no one has 3G cellular anymore, and I wasn't going to upgrade it. But no, that's just the question. I mean, yeah, there will be a lot of people that will be able to figure out some way to keep communicating. I was going to go as far as to say that perhaps the federal government, to protect itself, probably has the military up on standby frequencies that the rest of us don't have access to, or a means of bandwidth that we don't have access to that will be available to them. But I could be wrong. I don't really know. But anyone who wants to try to take the link and come on and see if we can hear you and you can hear me, you're more than welcome to come and join me. And if not, then we'll chalk it up as we try it. And sometimes weather here in Florida doesn't cooperate, and that will keep us from being successful. So I know the Chromebook did take an update today. I did a lot of work with it, reloaded a major update from AVG, my virus protection, and reset a bunch of things that weren't set right. But let's see. One ringy dingy. Jerry, I see you. No.
All right. You hear me now?
I can hear you now. Just in case it was on my end, I wouldn't put my headphones on.
My internet sucks, and the weather outside is bad. A lot of cloud cover. So
you want to just we tried it, we gave it our best,
I don't think
tomorrow
it's you. Not for me anyway. And when
okay,
I was watching, I heard everybody, so I don't know.
Yep.
Doesn't do any good if you can't hear.
You want to go for a bit, or you want to pull the plug, and I'll do my homework, and I'll be ready for
whatever you want to do, Dave. Whatever you want to do
for tomorrow. What do you got? What's exciting? What's going on in your life down in your part of Florida besides the rain sucks or the weather sucks?
Well, I made butter today.
Yeah? How'd it come out?
That's about the extent of it. Tastes good.
Good.
Tastes like it should, or as butter should. So, yeah. Hey, William, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, William, you should come over on our show once in a while. If you want.
Yeah, William, go over on Jerry's show tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'll put the link up on the screen.
Let us know. We're on Rumble. American Rebellion.
This is the link. This is the link for the American Rebellion.
Last time we had
Rumble.
Yeah.
You had a bunch of people on last night, except I I only made it for about
Do your
45
show,
minutes,
Dave.
and I had.
Yeah.
I only made it for about 45 minutes watching.
Yeah, I saw
the
you were
American
there, and then you were
Rebellion
gone.
last night. Yeah, I apologize. It just wasn't working for me. But hey, everybody, the American Rebellion is on Rumble now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. The link, as you see on the screen, is
You got to be signed in, Robin.
Yeah, is rumble.com/MREB live. When you get there, that's the American Rebellion Rumble channel. You have to sign in to Rumble in order to see the American Rebellion live chat. So Rumble is free to join, but you have to be a member in order to see the live chat on any Rumble broadcast. And it's really easy to do. Plus, the subscription, if you actually want to subscribe to the American Rebellion, I think you get sent the link every day.
Yep.
Every day that they're on. I think it's like $2 a month, $24 a year. It's really not, really not bad. And yeah, I have the link. I have the link for tonight.
That's what the hell is that? That is that's not Rumble. That's
Locals. Is it your locals channel? Yeah.
The five. I think it's a subscription. Yeah, I think one is join. That's locals, and the subscription is for Rumble.
Okay.
Anyway, Larry's here.
Larry's here. Hey, William, that's the link on the screen.
Do you have a Rumble account? If you don't have a Rumble account, Robin, you're not going to be able to sign in. Yeah, I think when he comes on, I'm going to go because I'm way behind you. And it's not your fault. This is on.
No, I know.
This happens to me every time I'm on.
I know.
So when he comes on, Ray's going to come on. As soon as he comes on,
all right. Okay. We'll give it a shot. I'm game.
Yeah. Because eventually this is going to go right for you, Dave. I guarantee you're trying hard.
I hope so.
Normally, on our show, because we got 3, right? Or 4 or 5, I can just go on mute and not say nothing. And it works. I'll be commenting in the comments or something, but when you're a guest, you can't really do that.
No, well, the nice thing about having 3 or 4 guests on my screen is I can do the same thing. I can jump over and
it sounds like I can always tell because I'll say something and then 30 seconds later everybody hears it and says something. And it goes in and out is the problem. I have satellite internet, so it's not the greatest.
Yeah, well, Randy was having the same
what's
problem.
That other one? The fiber optic, right?
Yeah, that fiber optic Fios.
Yeah,
Verizon.
Well, I kept hearing an echo
Fios
from Randy.
If I ever win,
well, yeah, isn't that the same thing?
If we ever win the megabucks or enough, if we ever win Powerball, a good Powerball, I will make sure that you have fiber optics. I will make sure you have fiber optics because they are it's fantastic and it's all underground too. But
yeah, here's a better idea. I win the Powerball and I'll get my own. That's a better idea.
Oh, well, you can do that.
Of course, I'd have to go buy a ticket, which I never remember to do. So, not very helpful, really. I don't even buy. I keep forgetting to buy a ticket for the Florida lottery. I mean, I'd be happy with that. I don't need $100 million. Give me 7. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't even need that. I think Don and I figured it out.
Well, our
couple
fiber
of weeks
optic
ago.
is coming through the government. It's government's putting it in, and it's coming through the damn. It's coming through the damn electric company. They're
Okay.
in charge of the project. And where I live, my spot on the earth, it's at least a year away.
Yeah.
This time
Well,
next year, sometime fourth quarter of
well,
next year. So
sometimes, well, hopefully they'll jump
I got a
ahead.
long wait
Hopefully
because
they'll jump ahead
this
and get it
I
done.
got HughesNet satellite, and satellite is the worst. If you're moving into a rural area at some point and all you have is satellite, you're going to have problems
Yeah.
because we have a satellite home phone, I guess, runs off the satellite anyway. And it's in and out too. So,
Yeah.
and what they tell you can get and what you actually get are two very different things.
Yeah. My
So,
sister's
I
in
don't know.
California, but they're up on
I'm
top
getting
of a
used to it.
mountain. They're up on top of a mountain and they have Starlink. And the only problem they have is that the motor that turns the dish, if the dish needs to be slightly pointed, that motor burnt out. They're waiting for God knows how long it'll be before they can get someone up there to fix it. And when my nephew is home, he will go out and turn the dish by hand, because that's what he does for a living. And his wife had to have Starlink because if she's there visiting my sister, she works for a company in San Francisco and they use Starlink. So, I don't know, but who knows? I don't know. You
Starlink
wake
is
up one
supposed to
day.
be better.
Yeah.
I know that the
Mm,
actual satellite in the sky is way closer than any of the other ones, and I think that's probably why. The less distance that the signal has to go, it makes sense that your internet's going to be better. I don't have it, and I don't have $600 to get it, so I'm not going to
no,
do that. But
no.
we call
I don't.
Ichabod said he was going to come on too, so
Yeah,
you'll have
we'll
people.
see if he can come back. Let me read comment from Don. I really want to get Don on one day to talk about a whole bunch of different things. But Don said, "What do you mean?" I think I read this earlier, but this may be an update to his previous comment. Mystical Oven, what do you mean by shut down? It would be a problem to shut down all bands without affecting much of their own equipment that also fall in the RF radio spectrum. Also, even if they pass a law restricting the use of private radio use, they'll have their hands full enforcing it. This is true, Don. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not going to become a nightmare. That if the federal government did it for any reason, that it wouldn't become a nightmare battle, and that pirate radio wouldn't come back in a heartbeat, because pirate radio was already there anyway. But as long as the bands are still there for them to broadcast in, they will be, or they'll take over CB or something. I'm just throwing the question out, trying to find out what people are planning, because like I said, all of my prepper friends that I talk to seem to be putting all of their eggs in one basket, that if the federal government was able to shut off all means of communication, or someone dropped a bomb on our communication infrastructure and blew it off the face of the earth, all of the preppers I know seem to be saying, well, they'll just turn on their ham radio. And maybe they know something about radio that I don't know, and here comes the lady who knows everything. Jen Woodruff is
Hi,
now
guys.
with us. Hey, I can hear Jen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay.
Look at the screen, Jen.
Hi.
Again,
Is it still?
he wasn't available, so I had to do the guest thing.
That's okay.
But,
Hi, guys. Good to see you, Jerry. Good to see you, Dave.
I
Sorry
know
I'm
you
so late.
did. I know you
Hey,
did,
Jerry.
Don. I know you responded to the question, but there were probably a million thoughts going through my head when I answered the question because I never made it from being a college radio disc jockey to being a station engineer on my way to be a chief engineer. I just made it to be the guy behind the microphone. And unfortunately for me, or maybe fortunately for me, my college radio show was in the middle of the night. And when the chief engineer had to take the station down, it was Sunday night, Monday morning, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. that he took it down. Or when the chief engineer had to take down my paid radio job, it was between 10 p.m. and 6, 7 a.m. so that the 7 a.m. show could go live. We just kind of did what we could. I mean, I'm fascinated by pirate radio anyway. I never really understood why the FCC didn't do anything with pirate radio to somehow make it legal. But anyway, it's Jen's turn to talk because she's here. And
Where did Jerry go?
he popped out. His internet is
go?
popping. His internet is popping in and out.
Oh,
He's not sure. He wasn't sure how long he
It's-
was going to make it. And let me kick this in over this. That's the link. That's the link. That is the link, William.
I see.
StreamYard.com
Okay.
/William Robert David 3 Union Charles Nancy Henry Sam. It's right there. We're gonna go back to actually I'm thinking in the future we're gonna go back to kind of doing it the same way JJ McCartney used to do it. He used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, set it up on StreamYard or whoever he used in his studio, and then send it to YouTube.
Oh,
And then he would take the link to his YouTube channel and go post it in like 500 groups on Facebook. I couldn't believe it. I mean, like I said, he got up at 6 o'clock. He set up the studio, or 5 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, he posted it and kept posting it and just manually posted it.
right.
And like I said, I was going through. We somehow friends who like red flag news fell in my lap the other day. I don't know why, but it did. We did a lot of cleanup on it. We removed 430 trouble accounts today, bogus accounts. It's down to 104. It's growing, and
You're cleaning them up. That's great. We got
We're
William
cleaning
and we
up.
got Ichabod. This
we
is
got
awesome.
William and we got Ichabod.
Yeah,
And
this
I
is
want
great.
to
Hi,
apologize.
guys.
I didn't think I was going to make it on the American Rebellion last night. I watched, and about 40 minutes into it, unfortunately, I had to go to bed. So
That's
was a good-
okay.
It was a good show.
it was a very good show.
It was
It
fun.
really
We
was.
laughed.
I
It
really
was
wanted to stay
informative.
up and watch it. I really did, but I just.
So you can
Mr.
hear me
William,
okay? You hear me
I can
okay
hear
now?
you. I
Okay.
can
Hey,
hear
good
you now.
evening,
Can
everyone.
you hear
How's
me?
everybody? Yes.
Yep.
Hi, Ray.
We're good.
Good. We can all do a Verizon commercial now because we can all hear each other.
Can you hear me? That's so funny. Yeah, I was hoping we could talk about that new phenomenon that's out there that I'm going to call it the stupid show because it's trying to program us. It's called predictive programming. It's that, oh, come on, what's Netflix? The Netflix phenomenon, the show that came out called Leave the World Behind with Julia Roberts. Isn't it produced by Barack Obama? There
Is
is so many racial slurs in there. It's pissing me off. I can't stand it, including when it starts out with the first scene with the boat dock itself, when it runs to the beach. It's called the White Lion, which is also a name for Mother Earth. And so they're trying to tell you, don't trust in these things. And he is the same guy who said he was going to fundamentally change our country. You could fix it. That would have been nice, but no, he's going to change it. And I swear, we talked yesterday about that earpiece in Biden's ear. And he said what he really wanted to do was have a third term where he could just be the earpiece. Yeah, he said I could just be the earpiece.
He said it. I think it was on a Jimmy Fallon, late night broadcast. And
right.
He looked half smug when he said it, and he kind of looked at the camera like you said. He said, if I could have a third term where I had someone. And I think he even said front man who would listen and say what I told him to say. I most certainly would do it.
But hey, it's okay.
And I'm sure that came back and bit him in the ass, because isn't that what he's doing now?
It sure looks like it. What do you think?
Does he think he's going to get a fourth term?
Trying. What does Ray Ray and Ichabod say? Yeah. My nose is, I am so red. I have a cold. I'm not drinking. Okay. Oh my God. I'm looking
at you. I thought you were trying to be Rudolph.
You are just mean. Thanks. No, I just need a Kleenex again. But do go ahead. Let's hear what you say. What does Ichabod say? Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I've been seeing the titles for that movie, but I'm glad that I heard the little insight from Miss Jen, so I don't even have to bother with it and be upset.
Thank you.
Yeah, I won't watch it. I don't have Netflix anyhow, so I don't really care. I mean, anything that has to do with Obama, I don't even care.
Wow, it's crazy.
Did you hear they made the old girl from University of Penn resign? The president of University of Penn, she resigned.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't stop the racial slurs against the Jews?
Yeah, but it's like they say, it's not that hard of an answer to denounce what's being done and said about the Jewish people. And for anyone that has to hesitate about it, you really have to give caution to any of those individuals. I mean, and Harvard, they just reached the $1 billion mark. Harvard's lost $1 billion through donors so far. And do you know what? They are still standing behind President Gay, the president of that university, after losing $1 billion.
They're standing behind the 52 clubs on campus, I think, that started the Harvard controversy that denounced Israel in favor of Hamas.
Well, it opens up Pandora's box to enlighten people on really who is funding these universities. People are going to find out that these universities are primarily being funded by other countries to allow their curriculum to be interjected here in this country. So we've been sold out on so many different aspects, from economics to education to the health care. Any which way you can find this country to screw us with no Vaseline, they are being more than happy to do it.
Wow. Yeah. I think they're enjoying it a little too much.
Right.
What do you think, Ichabod?
I don't really pay too much attention to colleges. I do believe they're being funded
Oh,
by
yes.
possibly other countries and behind George Soros because they're trying to indoctrinate the kids still. But they've been indoctrinating all of us for years. I mean, indoctrinating is nothing new. I mean, we're just now awake to it. It's been going on for hundreds of years. It really has. I mean, indoctrinating's been going on since this country's been founded, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Everything we've learned in school that all of our generation learns has been lies. Everything has. Damn near everything. Half our
Has it?
half our history is a bunch of crap. I mean, it's sad. That's why I'm a truth seeker. I try to seek the truth.
So if half of our history, what the four of us have learned in school or learned in school so far is lies, does that include CRT that doesn't want to necessarily tell it the way it happened? They want to tell it the way they think it happened. Is that
Right.
lies too? So
Well, yeah, I mean,
do lies, do we ever get to a point where the lies cancel out each other and someday we hopefully know the truth?
well, hopefully we got to get out of that matrix. They've been ever since they've had TV, they've been programming it. They've been programming. I mean, for years. Well, they've been doing that through the schools too. You know, so I mean, they've done it even through a religion. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. There's a lot of things that that was left out, and a lot of things that was added too.
Wow. Do you think it was taught wrong and they lied to us? Or do you think they told us partial truths and now they're trying to undo it? I don't know.
I don't know. I go down some pretty deep rabbit holes, but I use my brain too. I mean, like, they're worried about, okay, for example, the big thing here that, all the left and everybody's talking about is because Trump said that he was going to be a dictator, first day he gets back. Well, technically, if you want to get technical, every president we've ever had has been a dictator because the District of Columbia, okay, a dictator is a leader that runs a country from another country. Well, the District of Columbia is not part of the United States. It's owned by the Vatican. It's owned by the Bank of London. So, therefore, every president that's sat in that White House has been a dictator, technically. I mean, if you take a think about it.
How difficult will it be? Because I don't know if I ever asked Stephen Tolliver when he's on. How difficult is it to extract the country away from D.C. and the Vatican? I mean, I'm sure we can't buy it back from the Vatican, but what do we have to do, William?
Well, what a lot of people need to realize, and Stephen Palmer, okay, Stephen, he brings up a very good point. A lot of people don't realize that Washington D.C. isn't part of the United States of America. It's kind of deep because they're all involved in this together. The Washington D.C., the Vatican. People don't realize the Vatican's whole government got toppled during Trump's administration.
Yep.
The whole thing. Remember back when they had the shooting in Vegas?
Yeah.
When they had that shooting in Vegas.
From the hotel room?
That shooting in Vegas, it wasn't a gay shooting. It wasn't what they wanted to portray it to be. There was a royal prince, and I'll be doing a show on this. There was a royal prince that they attempted to assassinate.
Yep.
At that point. the Syrian government was toppled. There are a lot of things that have been going on that has nothing to do with the United States. Washington, D.C. is about to fall.
Yep.
The same way these other governments that are intertwined with DC have fallen. But the American people aren't aware of that because we stick to ABC, CBS, NBC.
Yep.
We don't look at world news and look at the politics of world news. We focus on headlines and not research. So if you do your research, you'll see America is just the next domino. And when I say America, I mean Washington, D.C. That's the next global entity
to fall after Israel. Yep.
So when Washington, D.C. falls, then do we as conservatives, patriots, I don't know what you want to call us anymore, Republicans, I don't even know what we are half the time. American citizens.
Patriots.
Can we save? Okay, right. You're on the road to being sovereign.
I am on the road to be sovereign, yep.
Right. I know. I did catch that part last night. You're on the road to being sovereign. But, okay, so sovereign or American citizen or whatever you want to call yourself, William, is there a way to save this, or do we just sit back and wait for DC and the Fed and everything else to fall apart and explode and hope that we can pick up the pieces and go on?
I think it's already fallen.
Yeah, in my opinion, there is nothing that we, the American citizen, is going to have to do. I've been listening to people talk about the Civil War for years. That I don't believe that's going to happen. There is going to be a great reset when the white hats take over everything, because at the end of the day, and I'm talking as a person who served this country, not this government, this country. At the end of the day, to my core belief, I truly believe the military has the last word. And the last word hasn't been heard yet.
I believe the military, I believe we're under a secret form of martial law right now. I believe, my personal belief is we're under devolution and continuity government. Trump did win. The reason he stepped aside and let Biden do what he's doing is because 4 years when Trump was trying to tell us all, nobody would listen. 80-some% of the population didn't like him. They wouldn't listen. I mean, even though at the rallies, there's a lot of people, but they wouldn't listen to him. So what better way? And if he wouldn't have stepped down, they would have said that he's trying to be a dictator then, and there would have been total chaos like the Summer of Love of 2020 with Antifa and BLM. They didn't want that. I mean, Antifa and BLM are foot soldiers for the left. That's a fact. I don't care what anybody says. I've been into it with both of them face to face personally. I believe Trump stepped aside so he could save innocent people from getting harmed and let the military take over. If you remember the night of Biden's inauguration, the National Guard General, that the mainstream media, the fake stream media, and podcasters and stuff, they asked him, and he said that they was there to peacefully transfer the power over to the military. Now, if you watch anything, I know before 2020, we was only having like 300 flights on the Gitmo. 2021, there were 6,000. You watch it, they're going there. like I said, I see more military activity flying around here in over Missouri, and I've never seen it before. I've lived here for 54 years. I've never seen nothing like what we're seeing around here. My concern is, I think what's going on in D.C., I think it's already been taken care of. I think we're just watching a show. They're just dripping a little information by little information to us, so there won't be people just going crazy, you know, because they just, you know, you dump a shitload of information just in a few hours, they don't know what's going to happen or what to think.
But is it the good guys, or is it just the good guys letting the Democrats continue doing whatever the Democrats thought they wanted to do, and at some point they step in and tell us
they've already stepped in.
It's all been fake. Because what I don't understand is when Trump leaned over to Mike Pence, that speech in the Rose Garden, and said something like, "That's not the way I thought it was going to be." Did he admit that he didn't have any idea, or did he admit that maybe they pulled something on him as well? And either one of you, any one of the three of you can answer that if you want to take a stab at it.
Well, I'm gonna be doing a show on it. I'm not giving you any of my ammunition, but
I'm not gonna do
while Trump was president, he signed a couple of executive orders.
Yep.
Changing the whole structure of the military chain of command and how it works. A lot of people don't realize and remember. You got to go all the way back, if you can vividly remember Inauguration Day, when Donald Trump was up there giving his speech, and he said he was giving America back to
the people.
The people.
Yep.
At that time, you notice the military turns.
Yep.
And they all walk out. Now, one thing you have to understand in that picture. See, now a lot of people focused on just the military walking out. But something you have to focus on. If you look at every face of those soldiers, not near one of them looked about 35 years old. Why is that?
Older or younger?
They were all young.
Yep.
Why is that? Did they need time to grow into their maturity? Did he not want to get old men and drag them 8 years because they would be older? Did he need to have a young core of officers? Remember, this is how many years ago? 6 years ago?
Yep. No.
So by now, they are mature officers. They're men. You know, a lot of people don't know about the secret meetings he had with the military out at the facility out there in Arizona that they have out there. There's a lot of things that have went on. A lot of people believe that the raid on Mar-a-Lago was really for classified information. I'll just say, me personally, I don't. If you ever had a chance to look, Donald Trump had Mar-a-Lago set up just like the White House.
Yep.
He had. Now, why would he have that capability? Why would he need that capability? Why would he be allowed to have access to still be able to talk to rooms full of generals and all? I mean, these are things literally. They see. I keep pictures. See, but you know something ain't right when you see something. You save it, and then it goes away, and you never see it no more.
Right.
Yep.
When everybody starts talking about, did you see that? Everybody's passing this around. It's all on social media, and then it disappears. Because you know what? I can't find that photo. I can't find them photos. I'm glad I saved them in my backup, because I can't find those photos on the internet nowhere of Donald Trump sitting in Mar-a-Lago with those 18 big monitors up there. Each of them got a conference room with him talking to a room full of officers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Disappeared. And it was up there for like 2 days. It was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, Jen, you remember last night on our discussion, you brought up that where whenever they got it, the presidency get inaugurated, they go on these trips, they go over and see all these different people.
Yep, Bank of London and Vatican.
If you notice, when Trump went over there, he went and seen the Pope. He tried to touch the Pope's hand. The Pope smacked his hand away. He had an evil look on his face. Now, if you go back and look, whenever the Pope and Obama was there, the Pope had a big smile. When he went and seen the Queen, you always follow the Queen, but not then. The Queen.
No, he walked in. He walked in front of the Queen. He walked in front of her once, and she never forgave him for that. It was very vocal. It was very vocal that she's the Queen, and you don't do that.
Well, he went to Putin. Putin gave him the soccer ball. Said the ball's in your court.
Yeah.
He went to the prince, and they handed him the sword that he's not allowed to touch.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's allowed to touch except for their leader. You know, Trump. When you see Trump, or when Trump talks, he talks in code. He uses sign language. He does things that a lot of people don't realize that he's telling us things. You know, whenever he did that rally down in Alabama, and he told everybody to take the vaccine. It pissed everybody off. I mean, it even made me mad. And then I got to thinking about it. Trump's a chess player. He's playing 5D chess. For years, nobody would listen to him. So if he's trying to save people, what better? You know, they're going to do exactly the opposite. So, you know, hey, go take the vaccine. Well, hell, Trump said take the vaccine. I ain't going to do that. He said do it. You know?
Right. That's good.
He's a smart man, you know. But, you know, if he don't come back, which I think he's still in charge. I mean, they tried to impeach him twice when he was in office. They've tried to impeach him twice since he's been out of office. You don't impeach somebody that's not president. He's still getting presidential motorcades. Biden's not getting that. They got enough. Another thing, they got enough evidence to impeach Biden, but they're only doing an inquiry. You know why? Because he ain't in charge. He ain't in charge of nothing. No. He's in charge of 10 square miles. You know, the only thing Washington D.C. and everything going on there is just a movie we're watching. What I'm worried about is that border and the illegals coming across the border. That's my concern.
Hey, Dave, can I show y'all what Stephen was just talking about? This is what you get when this is the greeting you receive when you are a ally of the Saudis, when you're fighting with people. I just want to show this real quick. Let me get this up here.
Okay.
I'm gonna introduce you there in a minute.
Yep. Look like crap. What's going on?
You're gonna show something.
Oh, I tried to put it in your show. It wouldn't come in your screen.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's right here. Hold on, I got it.
Yep.
Now he laughing and everything.
Yep.
But that is a sacred war tradition. These are allies getting ready to go to war. He got a warrior's greeting.
Yep.
And Stephen, I believe you might have watched the same documentary I watched, sir.
I watch all kinds of things.
Yeah, it is very deep. And for those who are listening and watching this podcast, any type of documentaries that might be out there, I don't know the name of it offhand, but it has research in it like that, and it actually critiques it what it's about, what it represents. It is amazing to sit back and watch how certain people have went through this with a fine-tooth comb and dissected this.
I think that visit that Trump had with all them leaders was to let them know what's up. He had everything as far as, because what's going on right now is it's not an American thing. This is a worldwide thing.
That's right.
They're taking out the Kasarian Mafia. They're taking out all the human trafficking, the child trafficking. They're taking all out of the, I hate to say it, but the adrenochrome, their biolabs. That shit's been going on for years. I mean, they've been, you remember when we was kids, we'd be sitting there eating a bowl of cereal in the morning. We had them cardboard milk cartons. We'd see kids our age disappearing.
Yeah.
Some of them kids they found alive.
Yeah.
They found a handful of them kids alive. They've been using them for breeding purposes so they could get undocumented kids without birth certificates. That on the black market, a kid's worth a lot of money.
Wow.
It's a worldwide thing. And Trump, and I think Trump and Putin, everybody says Putin's a bad dude. You know what? I pissed a lot of people off, but I keep saying I'm rooting for Putin. I'm just saying.
I don't think he's as bad as we think he is.
No.
We're told how bad he is, but I don't think he is.
He's
not.
I think
trying to hold on.
He is, but I think Putin and Trump could have, if Trump had actually been seated president in 2020, with his help with Putin, and maybe by then we would have cleaned up the Bidens in Ukraine and maybe even brokered something between Putin and Zelensky. And I don't really even want to get into that because I think I said on a post today that every time Zelensky comes to the United States and gets a check for $200 million from Biden on a plane that we paid for his round trip flight, I want to know how much goes back to Biden when he gets back to Ukraine and how much goes to Putin.
Listen, this thing that's going on with Ukraine and Russia is another war, and I'll put this in, it's just my opinion, another war that was created by America. Do you not notice how they are talking about putting Ukraine in NATO now?
Yeah.
This was all about making Ukraine a buffer zone.
Right.
See, they are trying to get so close to Russia, NATO is, that they literally want Ukraine.
And you and I have done broadcasts where we talked about this.
Yeah, Putin's like, you're not going to be at my front door.
Right.
Putin's like, no, I need some distance between y'all. Y'all got to have some distance between me.
Well, if you remember back in 2012, Biden and Obama went over there and they helped get rid of that government over there and help install the Ukrainian government that's there now. This was a plan. They've been laundering money through there for years, just like they're laundering money through Israel.
I mean, I still want to know, every time that gets brought up, I want to know why Obama, as soon as Joe Biden stepped off the plane back here in the United States, coming back from threatening that if they didn't get rid of that Ukrainian attorney general or whoever,
the prosecutor.
Yeah, prosecutor, he wasn't going to give the check. Because I swear to God that if I was the Republican Speaker of the House, I would have had impeachment proceedings that no member of the House or the Senate could have said, regardless of party, he didn't break any rules. He didn't do anything, but that man would have been thrown out as soon as he got on the plane. Off the plane. There would have been U.S. Marshals waiting to meet him when he walked off of Air Force Two to take him into custody and throw him out. I don't think we're ever going to get a final accounting of the trillions of dollars that have gone to Ukraine now, that amounts of money that have gone back to the Bidens over the course of this, just because the FBI has been sitting on all this crap for all these years that could have nailed Biden anyway.
Well, wherever they store the records for all the missing money that's come up, there's going to be something happen to that building too. You watch, just like 9/11, just like Oklahoma City.
We agreed. You guys agreed last night with Stephen Tolliver that Building 7 was where a lot of those financial records the government had were sitting there, and I still think that until that owner is in the witness box and he has to sweat, he's got to tell me, because my only question if I was the prosecutor would be 2-3 days before this all happened, you double, triple, whatever it was, your insurance. And that's not a move that someone makes on their business unless you know something is going to happen. Jen,
that's obvious.
Want to go from there?
Well, I guarantee you that was all us. That was 100% us. Wasn't Bin Laden. That we did that just so we could go over and take over the damn poppy fields, opium fields. Is why we did that. We needed somebody to blame, just like, back in Oklahoma City, they needed Timothy McVeigh, to blame. They needed Patsy. Hell, it goes back all the way to Lincoln. They always have to have somebody to blame. They always have to have a scapegoat. Just been going on.
Yeah, just want to take a second. I'm sorry, Stephen, and welcome back, Edward L. Hudson, my buddy who's been sick and dealing with all kinds of crap, and says he is back better than ever. I am very glad to have you back, and we've missed you on the broadcast watching, and we're very glad to have you back. Go ahead, Stephen.
Now I've lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Oh yeah, this shit's been going on 100 years. I mean,
we just got screwed by America. Let's just face the facts.
Do they really?
That's all.
We got screwed, William, but did we get screwed because we just let ourselves get screwed? Or did we get screwed because they just screwed us?
Overnight. This didn't happen overnight. This thing has been going on for decades. It's been picking up steam for decades, and thank God one man came along. God said enough is enough, and see, at the end of it all, America has the last word. See, Trump was just here to make them itch.
He was a messenger.
He was just here to make them itch, and he made them itch, and they scratched themselves into scabs and everything they have made themselves. Who we now know they are, just like what Comer's doing. We know that this man isn't going to get impeached because the Democrats aren't going to impeach him. So they're doing this to put all of this stuff out here in front of the American people. They are going to judge this in the court of public opinion. And why? Because America is public. It's America. It's America. It ain't their job. It ain't their job to prosecute him and do whatever they're gonna do to Joe. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that to Joe.
Yeah, because the courts are corrupt. All the courts, the whole court system is corrupt.
That's right.
Every one of them. I mean, we're supposed to be. Every one of our court systems in this country is illegitimate. They're illegitimate because we're run under they run it under maritime, and we're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be under common law.
Right.
And So when we go to court, we're treated like we're in military court. That's how we're treated, and it's not right. All the judges need to be retrained. All the law enforcement need to be retrained because the way they're indoctrinated to do it the way they're doing it. I can't remember the terminology for it, like fancy word, and I'm not that that smart, but
you're very smart.
Yeah.
Don't cut yourself down like that. You're very smart.
I'll tell you what, I learned something here a couple weeks ago to blow. Well, our first president's supposed to be George Washington. Well, I've learned that there was actually 14 presidents that was before him. They only served 1-year terms. Right? Okay. George Washington, before he came over here, he from England or wherever he came from, his name wasn't George Washington. I can't remember what it was. It's some funky name, but he's also one of the founders of the Illuminati. Now this gets deep, and this is my thoughts, but I've done some talking with some people, and they say I have a legitimate point. Now, most of our forefathers were Freemasons, and if you know the true history behind Freemasons, they're not good guys. They practice some pretty evil crap. So they say our country was established on religion, but our forefathers, the ones that created, helped create this country. And I know what beliefs they had. If that's the beliefs they followed, then what religion was this country founded on? Just saying, it's just a question that I've been brought up. I've thought about this for a while, and I'm like, wow, this is a little deeper than what a lot of people think. Maybe I'm going a little overboard, but it's kind of deep. I mean, honestly.
Well, you're right, because it all goes back to the type of individuals that they were. Because
right.
if they were a certain way, they wasn't going to come over here and then introduce something new that they didn't believe in. So they indoctrinated all of their evil ways right when they came here. So if the person that truly founded America was a Satanist, then guess what? He intended for America to be a Satanist place, because he's only going to bring his values with him and push his values onto the society that he comes to.
Right.
If he was that corrupt before he became president, and he had the option to become king, why didn't he just become king? If he was that corrupt, and his other founding fathers and whoever were that corrupt too, why didn't he just become the king in his corrupt court? And neither one of you can answer that, Jen.
Probably because he wasn't by himself. It was probably by committee.
Before Trump come along and before he waking me up, I was in the Matrix. I was blind. I'm telling you what, my wife, she went down some rabbit holes. My wife's my backbone, but she went down some rabbit holes, and she unlocked a key to this brain that's just like opened up in the last 7 years. That I never thought I would ever be this knowledgeable. I've learned more in the last 7 years on my own than what I've ever learned my whole lifetime.
That's good. I wanted to say, just like Ichabod said about...
She's the guilty one.
That's
my wife,
awesome.
Darlene.
Hi, Darlene.
Darlene, it's all your fault. It's all
it
your
is
fault,
her fault.
Darlene.
I created a monster out of him, and but it was honestly me. I kind of got in an argument with God one day when I found out about all these children. I was screaming and yelling at him over this, and it wasn't like a month or two later I found out Trump was running, and I heard what he was going to do, and then I seen in the crowd somebody had a sign at one of the rallies, and it said to go on the Telegram. So that's where I went down the rabbit hole, and I went on there two years straight, and I was on it constantly. I wasn't coming off of it until I started finding out more of the truth.
That's awesome.
Telegram
Darlene, you're amazing. That's
Telegram
exactly.
is actually a pretty good place to go.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say about George Washington, his wife. I think she was like, "You're not going to be king. You're my husband. You're king of our home. You can be the president, but you're not going to run this country like a dictator." So I was going to blame Martha Washington for that. And that's good. And that's how it's supposed to be. These little men that get in power and think they control the world are irritating me and pissing me off. And we got to stop this. And that I'm not done. That's exactly what Barack is doing with his predictive. It's okay, Dave. I forgive you. With this
She got a mean
predictive.
streak, boy. I told you.
When I'm sick and my nose turns red, yeah. Anyhow,
When
I
the red
was
light's on
into
Jed's
Freddy
nose,
Krueger.
when the red light is on Jed's nose, you don't overtalk her.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh,
apologize.
no, I
But
cannot get rid of this. Thank
'Tis the
God.
season. 'Tis the
I was
season.
just going to say, Jed, do you think that it's Melania Trump maybe that kept Donald in line during
Melania
all
White
of
Hat.
this and just,
It has
know,
to be. It has to be. It
Well,
must be.
White Hat.
I saw a video the other day that said he suggested he and Barron do not get along very well. That's why Barron is not often seen with him. Supposedly he's angry that Barron, who is like 6'8", is like almost a foot taller than he is.
That's funny.
And it bothers him, but I don't. It was a video on one of those YouTube channels.
Well,
that,
you can't listen to that shit.
You don't
heard it
believe
from
half,
Eric or
you don't
somebody.
believe half of what they say, because I personally have said several times on Boogie broadcasts that maybe you'll see something from Donald Jr. in the future. Maybe you'll see something from Ivanka in the future. But I think secretly Donald Trump is schooling Barron to become a president one day.
Wow.
I don't know if that means. I don't know
Well,
if that means
They're going to be the
running.
new Kennedy. They're going to be the
What
new
about-
Kennedys.
Well, I'm not looking at it as
yeah.
Camelot. I'm just looking at it as Barron is in a great position to learn from, for lack of putting it better, the master.
You're
The
right.
time traveler. The time traveler.
You're right, but he won't be old enough. It'll go Don Jr.,
Well,
then Barron.
he won't-
Well, no, he's got to be 35.
There was
Well,
two
like
books.
I said, I think you're going to see something from
Yeah,
Donald
this
Jr.
is good.
I don't know if you're going to see president.
Well,
I just
that-
think. Go ahead.
There's a book.
Steve.
There's two books. It was written back in the 1800s about the last president, about the time traveler, and in them books it talks about Donald Barron Trump. It talks about
Yep.
Trump being the last president, but it don't talk about Donald being. It talks about Barron being the last
Yeah.
president. What was his name? Was it Rand Ingersoll that wrote that book?
Yeah.
Them
Yeah.
books.
I think
Them are
so.
good books.
Yeah, I
look
heard
at,
that too.
You look at Barron, and people have written articles before where they say he looks like he's stupid, he's not intelligent. I gotta tell you, every time I see a picture of Barron, he looks like he's got his thumb right on something that if he dropped, it would just be a political bombshell that would. I don't know.
When I see Barron, and I don't use this, I was brought up to this question a couple of months ago. When I see Barron, one word comes to mind that I don't use with probably nobody. Distinguished.
Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
look that
Absolutely.
that's the aura that he gives off. His shoulders are back and broad. His head is
Right.
held up high, chin focused. He's built different than the other boys are. The other boys had a chance to live life and party a little bit. You can see they're a little loosey goosey. Barron is straight focused. I don't know what his IQ is. I bet you he's just
high.
brilliant.
I don't remember what it is, but it's very high. He's very intelligent. Melania taught him, I don't know by how old he was, but he's fluent in like 7 different languages, all languages that, you know. That
but I wanted
he
to say
might
something
need
to Stephen's wife real quick.
Go ahead.
About the kids. And it's going to come out in the memoir when this is all over. That is the primary reason that Donald Trump ran for president.
Yep. Yep.
2 nights before Donald Trump, and this is how it said, had went down. 2 nights before Donald Trump decided that he was going to run for president, he was in his bedroom and Melania came in there. And she went over to him and sat down beside him and she put her hand on his knee. And she told him, now is your time for you to go save these kids of the world.
Wow.
People don't realize it wasn't about Donald Trump saving America, making America great again. That came along with the package.
Yeah.
Right.
Melania didn't ask him. Told him.
Told him. There's a big difference. There's a big difference
save
between
them
asking and being
Go
told.
save them kids of this world.
Yep.
Well,
And everything else fell under that umbrella. He didn't understand what was coming along with it, with the swamp.
In the beginning of all this, when she was trying to get me convinced it was about the kids and a lot of things, she was telling me about adrenochrome and about a whole bunch of other crap that was going on, and I didn't 100% buy into it. There's a lot of things I didn't,
Right.
you know. So
Started connecting my information.
I downloaded and went into the dark web, and it, you know, it's kind of scary because I've heard a lot of things about the dark web. I was on it for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, and one night I found a video where it was a little brother and sister, and they had the little boy come in there, and it was a snuff film, and they snuffed this little boy and watched the girl watch her brother get killed, and the little girl looked just like my oldest granddaughter. I mean, spitting image, and she started crying or adrenaline, you know, seeing this, and then they did her, and I freaked out. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I had tears running down my face. I'm not gonna lie. And I showed my wife, Darlene. She said, "Where in the hell did you get that? Where did you find that at?" And I said, "Well, I'm in the dark web." And boy, yeah, shit hit the fan. I was in trouble. She's like, "You get the hell off of that. There's other sites you can go see this." I said, "Well, I wanted to see the real snuff films and see if this is really, really true." And
can't tell you.
Yeah, she couldn't tell me. I had to find out on my own.
Wow.
So
Y'all ever heard of the DOMs?
the what?
The DOMs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people aren't aware of this. When Donald Trump was president, there was about 4 to 5. I know one was in Texas, one was in New York, Los Angeles. I don't know. I can't recall where the other ones were. People were witnessing potholes being blown out of the streets, fires coming out of the streets and shit like that. And this stuff, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I can only say the actual and factual. This shit was really happening.
Yep.
But you heard about it for an instant, and then it was like it never happened. And the only people that were able to be in tune with it are people like me, probably people like Steven, or back then, people who were into what they would like to call the conspiracy theory. My phone is ringing. I got it. I'm paused.
Great. Like you got
I was trying to figure out where that was coming from.
He says
well, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I really don't. I mean,
no, it's true. We just get to prove it.
I don't believe in coincidences either. I mean,
if I see something one day, I want to be able to go 2, 3, 4 days later and see it again.
It
I
is
don't
what
see
it is.
something and then it disappears because then I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, did I really see that shit a couple of days? I know I did. And then I go looking for it and I can't find it. And then I'm fighting with my brain because I'm like, dude, I know it was here. So I got to call somebody that gets down like we get down and be like, dude, you should have backed it up and saved it. So that's what I
should have. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up. I wanted to bring up these 5 chapters really quick, and if you could just help me put this together, because I swear it's the chapters of that Netflix show that Barack Obama was helping produce, and he's trying to tell us, because they always do that, especially the Muslims. They have to tell you what they're doing before they do it, because then it's okay and they can lie about it, and they always do, just like he told us what he wanted to do for his 3rd term. Well, anyways, this is what they said. This is what the first chapter in his leave the world behind or whatever is one, the house. And I thought, oh my God, that whole thing is about the housing crisis. And then the second chapter is called The Curve. And I think that was about the pandemic that we had, that they kept saying 2 weeks to flatten the curve. It never flattened. And it was designed to fail. And Barack loves that. He wants to prove that we're failures and we need a higher president to take charge. That's what he wants. He's like so evil. So the housing crisis was the first one. The second one was the curve. The third chapter is weird. It's called The Noise, because there's this really high-pitched noise. Unless they're relating that to Trump, I don't know. Fake news, Trump. But it's called The Noise. And everyone hears this high-pitched noise and they hold their heads and they get headaches. I mean, it's so strong, it kills like birds. It's the weirdest thing, but that's called The Noise. And then the third one is called The Flood. And I can only imagine they're talking about immigration and all these floods of people coming in. And then the last one is called The End. And it's sad. It just, all they see is it's not a mushroom cloud, it's just a cloud after they bombed the Capitol. So, what do you think they meant by the noise?
I'm sorry. The Chihuahua was that high-pitched frequency in the
She
background.
knew what it meant.
You said that and she just started howling.
That's funny. Just like William and the conspiracy theory. I don't know. What do you think you could be relating that to? Is there what noise
What do you
is
think, William?
distracting us?
That's the Chihuahua. But what do you think, William?
Noise can be used in all different types of ways. They're making all kind of noise right now. How do you look at it? I mean, there was a time was it last year before, for 4 or 5 days in DC, there was this high-pitched frequency sound that people couldn't figure out what it was and what was going on, and they thought it was some military experiment or some shit. But other than that,
that's
nothing other than noise comes to mind with me.
Can you think of a noise?
There were people saying that the last round of the COVID vaccines were evidently more than just a vaccine. That if you look at Florida has more cellular phone towers than I have ever seen necessary for cellular phones. And if you talk to people in the know, they will tell you that a lot of those towers aren't towers. There's some other means of communication beaming off some kind of tower, and supposedly that's what a lot of people are hearing. And then they wouldn't tell me anything else because they don't want to let you know. They don't want to make you think what might actually be going on. And I mean, I've heard from friends that they have like really bad tinnitus in one ear a couple of days. a week, and then it's gone and it's clear and they hear without any problem. And then a few days later, it happens again. So I don't really know. And people have said that we're on 5G right now, but supposedly the technology is sitting up around 10G that they're already testing. So there's a lot. So there's a lot of stuff that, there's 5 generations worth of stuff that we don't really know anything about that supposedly is already being used in. Go ahead,
I
Steve.
believe the 5G and the 5 towers is another evil plan and part of their narrative, because the 5G, the cell phones don't work any damn better. They really don't.
They don't.
You notice when we was in lockdown, and now I live out here in middle of nowhere, they didn't have no towers like that anywhere around here. Now I've been around the country. I've been to Chicago. I've been to Kenosha. I've been to Indiana, Southern Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Washington, D.C. Before the lockdown, there was no 5G towers anywhere. When they started letting us come out of the lockdown, I go 5 miles up the road. I'll be damned, there's a 5G tower. Where'd that come from? I think the 5G tower I think there's alternative. It's built for an alternative reason. I don't think it has anything to do with the cell phones and the 5G. I really don't.
There's some conspiracies that T-Mobile, who was owned by Deutsche Telekom over in Germany, had been talking for years about turning off T-Mobile USA because they hadn't made any money off it. It never made any money. And then all of a sudden, AT&T pulls out of the sale. They get $1 billion. And before you know it, they've got the state-of-the-art 5G network, and they're doing just about everything for the government now. And supposedly, some people believe that that's a conspiracy theory that, there. But, like I said, I don't know what I believe and what I don't believe, but I do know that if you drive down the road on the major roads around us here in Florida, there are more cellular phone towers than there are in any city that I've ever been along the East Coast.
Right.
I've driven all over Connecticut. I've driven all over Massachusetts. I've driven around in New York. And it just seems that there's some kind of conspiracy there, but I don't know what I believe and I don't know what I don't believe. It changes every day of the week. Anyway, changes every day of the week based on what I see on the Patriots Lab when William is on doing his broadcast, what I see in the news feed, what Jen posts in the groups, I
don't know shit about no towers. I don't count towers. I don't know nothing about towers. That's out of my pay grade.
Well, okay.
So, Dave, not to change the subject, but earlier, before we got broke off and we had to redo all this, you was asking about ham radios.
Yep.
In our group, we have a guy that he has his ham license and ham radios. Not all of us in our group are getting them. If you get a ham radio, you got to pay for a license. Then again, you're getting back in with the government. I'm not going to deal with that crap. I'm done.
Okay.
What I've done, I've got a base station, a CB radio base station. I've got CBs in my vehicle.
Yeah.
I've got a 40-foot tower out here. We've also been purchasing these handhelds. You can get these on TeamU. These here actually have, I've got to take it over and get it programmed. It's supposed to have police scanner in as well.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yep.
One thing about if we have an EMP or anything, you drop all communications. If you don't protect these, they're going to fry like along everything else. So build a Faraday box. Faraday cages or boxes do work. They do work. I built one when we got that that big broadcast a while back and everybody was all freaking out. I just went ahead, just out of for safety precautions through my phones and everything, iPads and everything, my Faraday cage. We didn't get it didn't go through. Hell, I've tried to call phones into that Faraday box and you can't get it. You can't get into it. So Faraday cages do work.
That's good.
So,
That wasn't. Yeah, that's another noise when they use
Okay.
system.
Go ahead, Jen.
They were. I don't. What were they trying to do? Fry our phones? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm
I
done.
don't
Go
know if
ahead,
they
Dave.
was or not. They have the capability to. I mean, they have the capability to wipe us out. You know, they say they were going to shut the internet down, all our phones, nothing was going to work. You know, we were going to go through 10 days of darkness. You know, whatever. I've been hearing all kinds of crap. I'm just going to prepare and be ready. If it happens,
foil.
If it happens, it happens. You know, I'm going to be prepared for what I need. You know, I'll be able to survive here, but I know how to live off the land as well, though.
Right. Wow.
Well, if they shut down my Walmart, I'm in trouble.
That's how he lives off.
Hey,
that's cute.
My Walmart's right out here. My deep freeze, I go down here to the Amish neighbors. That's where I go. About everything I need, I can get right here off the land.
Yep. Nice. Yep. And if you need to, they'll come to your land and they'll raise a barn for you.
Yeah, they will. They can raise a barn. Right. They can raise a barn in a day.
Yep. Yeah.
They're amazing people. They really are. They got a different lifestyle. I'll give them that, but they are amazing people. I mean,
they do.
They got, you know, their kids learn to work as soon as they learn to walk. I mean, I've seen a little 3-year-old girl weave a basket. Man, there ain't no damn way.
Quilting.
There ain't no damn way I could weave a basket.
Awesome.
No, there's no way I could weave a basket either.
Beautiful. They make beautiful baskets. I mean, they make clothes hampers. I mean, it's unreal.
Furniture, buggies. You know, I wouldn't buy that Tesla now because if you can't charge it, you're going to need an Amish buggy to pull that Tesla around.
Yeah.
But,
well, you heard my joke. You heard my joke the other night about, you know, why Amish never got the COVID, right?
No.
Because they don't have TV.
That's right.
That's funny. That's good.
Okay.
It's the truth, though, honestly.
Yeah, I never knew you had it till you heard it described on TV, and everyone's like, I can't breathe. You're right.
But they have a lot of home remedies. Amish people don't get sick that often. They really don't. But they don't subject themselves to the things that we subject ourselves to.
Immunizations, yep.
Immunizations, stress.
Food additives, medicine. True.
Red noses.
No, we always had them. Okay, you went too far. But anyhow, no, we would always have the Amish, loved our Amish neighbors too. We would always have them process our chickens. And they're amazing. They do everything. They really do. It was fantastic. But
you know what?
The last thing about this.
You know what gets me about the Amish? You know, it could be 8 inches of snow on the ground, 10 below zero. I'm freezing my butt off in the truck going down the road trying to get to point A to point B. I pass them and they're in their buggies, you know, just their denim coat on and their hat, and act like it don't even bother them. It's unreal.
I know. That's funny.
And they don't have red noses either.
Okay, there we go again.
I didn't say it.
Very funny. I can't stop the stupid thing. I'm sorry. Anyhow, the last thing about
Rudolph.
Okay, you did not even call me that. Yes. Anyhow, in this show, they keep having these deer come up, and they're like, these women are trying to scare these deer away. And Julia Roberts, she has her yeah. You know what? Thank you so much, Melinda. She has the same problem as I do. Thank you.
Take ivermectin. Take ivermectin. Get you some ivermectin.
That is a bad word. Yeah, no kidding. I agree with you.
Ivermectin. Get a hold of Melanie Schmelzer.
Yeah, she told me just to eat garlic, like clove of it. I'm like, my poor husband. I didn't do it, but just don't breathe.
I took a dose of shot. I put 1 cc of ivermectin in my coffee yesterday morning, and I did it again this morning. I'll probably hold off for a couple of weeks, and then I'll do it again. I do it for preventative, precautionary reasons.
That is smart. Very, very smart. We get it from the frontline doctors, so we would get a whole bottle of pills according to our weight, because Jesse and I had it twice already. And so you're right, ivermectin, you take it for what, 3 days? If that, it's gone. It was awesome.
I get mine from the veterinarian. It comes in. It comes in. It's a real horse dewormer. It's the real stuff. It's not. I actually do.
That's awesome.
When I grew up, my grandpa, when we got sick, he didn't take us to the doctor. They didn't take us to the doctor. He had penicillin for his cattle. He had all this different stuff, and that's what he would give us. And if that didn't work, Grandma would make a hot toddy, and I would try anything before I had one of Grandma's hot toddies, because them things, whoa, them are nasty. Them are nasty.
Oh my gosh, that's funny, but it worked. It worked. That's great. Yeah, I did too. Jesse's bourbon.
I can remember my mother, when my baby sister, who is now in her 50s, early 50s, when her teeth were coming in, my mother used to take a shot of good bourbon or whiskey and put it on put it in a
on her gums.
Yeah, put it on a Q-tip and swab it on her gums. It wasn't enough to get her. Well, it probably was enough to get her drunk, because she was, how old when teeth are coming in. But
right, just to numb it.
It was just enough. Yeah,
you couldn't do that today. You couldn't do that
can't do it today.
If anybody found out about it, boy, they try to come in and take your kid.
Yep.
I know, you can't even spank them. My God.
Take
That's
the bottle
what's wrong
from
with
you.
this country. That's where this country's went to hell, is when the government stepped into the family and started controlling you, how you could discipline and how you could not discipline your kid. That's where a lot of shit went south in this country.
Okay.
That's good. Good point. But the last thing I wanted to say was about the deer hunting. I'm guessing they're going against hunting. And so I'm reading reviews on this, and everyone's like, oh, no. They're talking about the innocents, because all the deer came at the end of the movie, and it's, they're surrounding these women, and the women are like Julia Roberts. I'm like, this is the stupidest scene. That's why I said this should not go in her resume. She should not be proud of this. They're raising their arms up and they're yelling, woo, trying to scare these deer away. All you have to do is take a step. They hear a twig break and they're gone. I mean, I've gone hunting with my husband. We process our own deer. It's not, they don't want you to think that you can kill them and eat them. And that's why they're trying to say the deer are your friend. Look at how innocent they are. And at the same time, the deer are coming, and everyone's trying to scare these things away, which you don't have to. You just breathe out loud and they hear you. They're gone. They're not going to encroach on you. There's 5 deer. The one girl's like, I was in the woods. I saw 100 of them. I stood in the middle. I'm like, no, you didn't. You can't. It's impossible. So they're lying to us. We're supposed to be scared of the deer. It's so stupid. But anyways, when the deer came on the scene is at the same time when their youngest daughter, Rose, was missing. She's 13. She turns out to be fine. It's just the whole thing, very democratic and very, very much Barack Obama.
But didn't Stephen say yesterday that the major thing, and I think deer hunters probably see it around the country, is that if they weren't out hunting, there would be too many of them.
It made me think
about they're not deer, they're not goats, they're gazelles or whatever they are. They take the trail up to the mountain every year, and they literally just run off the top of the mountain and land in the water and die because they don't. I don't know what animal it is, but they do it every year, and it's just they know it's their time to go. and they just it's weird. I don't remember where it is, but they take this trip up this trail to the top of the mountain, and they jump off, and I think it's in the water, and they eventually drown. But if there's an overabundance of them, I guess we should be using them for food because they're
delicious.
They're sustainable. They're sustainable. I mean,
right.
They come back every season. So
what
Well,
do you think?
the deer are overpopulated. I mean, here in Missouri they are. I mean, that's the reason they do these controlled hunts every year. But they're like this year we've had like 3 or 4 extra hunts added in. We still got we've had rifle season for over a month now. Now we're in doe season, and it ends on the 15th, and then it goes to alternative season, which is black powder, and back to bow season, which you can hunt all the way up till January 15th.
Oh wow!
So, like it started in November. Well, no, October is when bow season started.
November 15th.
October 15th,
Right.
I believe it was. Yeah.
Yep.
And then it went into November. Bow season went all the way up until youth season, which was November 8th, and then it kicked over. That was for 2 days, and it started the regular rifle season, which was November 11th to November 22nd. And then it went to a CWD hunt, which is chronic waste disease, which we have that up in Missouri. So that was another 10 days, and now we got another 10 days and up an antlerless season, and this is all rifle.
Ouch. Hey, Jen, what was the name of the Netflix thing? You said Alan wants to know.
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind. Okay.
Yeah. We used to live in Michigan, so I know what you're talking about in Missouri. We used to live in Michigan, and Jesse planted like a whole acre of, I think, winter rye. It was like when we could bait them, we would give them carrots and apples, and then the next year we couldn't. So what he had done is planted a whole acre. It was before the housing crisis, and we had bought a house with a couple acres, and we had a whole acre of winter rye, and we always had deer because they would come to it because we weren't allowed to bait. The stuff just grew. What could we do? But that was awesome. And then after that, I think
we're getting ready to put in a bunch of food plots down here. We're going to put turnips, radishes.
Anyways,
corn.
that was in Michigan. And
okay. There it is. Leave the World Behind on Netflix.
Oh, they're gonna love it.
Good. I might look it up tomorrow and see.
I've got to sit on the screen.
Yeah, you'll love it. It's fascinating, but when you get all the racial messages, you'll be very upset.
I'll be very upset. Okay. Yeah.
I want to see that new movie, The Police State. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is it a movie in theaters? Is it a Netflix thing from the Obama brothers or?
I don't know. It's come out. I heard they're trying to stop it, like they tried to stop. What was the name? That movie that we went to see that they didn't want us to watch, that they held up for 5 years. The Sound of Freedom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to theater and seen that, and they tried to stop us in the theater. They didn't want to turn the lights off, and
yeah,
some of the good old boys got up and made them turn the lights off. We paid good money, by God. We was going to watch it.
Yeah.
So I guess Jerry is talking about wanting to maybe do an hour once a week about survival or prepping. I call it survival skills. I don't want to say I'm prepping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good idea.
That's
I mean,
there's
people in the city. You can take little on your balcony, get some buckets of stuff and grow tomatoes or a few small things. I mean, if you don't have the land, or like next year, I'm not going to mow that much because I'm going to turn my whole yard into garden. I'm going to turn the whole damn yard.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, that's better than lawns.
Yeah, we had Vicky Schaffner for a while, who was doing. Oh,
she's good at that.
I'm going to try to grow tobacco for the first time.
She was on the American Rebellion a lot. Did a couple of boogies. Yeah. She did it. But yeah, an hour. Yeah. I think that's
awesome.
I think that's a great idea. That is a great idea.
Yeah, I was talking on the Patriot Lab last week about making your own those potato flakes, like instant potatoes that we buy, those potato spuds. Yeah, you can make your own. So I was doing a show on that with William Rayfield. Yeah, Ray, the black guy who was down there. Awesome guy, awesome show. And you can make your own. So I would love to talk about food if yes, just not about prepping, just talking about having stuff on hand. Because people get so bent out of shape when they think you're preparing for something.
Well, they just took
But go on, I'm sorry.
They took one of our groups down on Facebook because I have a group called We the People on Facebook, We the People of Missouri. Then I started a group called the Regulator Family. And then off that, we started another group called the 556ers. Now, We the People of Missouri, that's where we're only allowed to post political stuff and our thoughts and our opinions. Regulator Family is where we do the do-it-yourself things. It's ideas of how to get your own electricity, how to grow stuff, and everything else. The 556ers is very explanatory. The 556er was teaching us self-defense, different tactics and stuff, things you can pick up right off of YouTube. It wasn't a week and we had 556ers up and Facebook took it down.
Yeah,
we wasn't showing guns, we wasn't showing none of that. I mean, we was showing how to draw your gun, where it's safe and keep everybody safe. But most of it was hand to hand, like self-defense skills, and they straight took it down. It wasn't up a whole week.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh, those scary guns! You never know when they're going to go off.
They're doing some weird things because I turned on around 10 o'clock Saturday morning, and first thing I see in my notifications is you got an admin invite to this group, you got an admin invite to that group, you got an admin invite to 2 other groups, and one of them we're not sure what we're going to do with, because I talked to some other people who were in it. We haven't decided what we're going to do with it, but some of them are worth saving, some of them aren't. You just kind of do what you can do these days. Facebook wants as many conservative patriot groups, I'm sure, going into the November election, so one by one they can take us all down. But,
it's taking care of us. That's great.
I had a message sent to me. Somebody, who was it that told us yesterday that what I'm doing in the group I started, the Regulator Family, teaching people stuff? I guess there's like multiple groups around Missouri that's formed and doing the same thing, which is awesome. Good. It's awesome news. But who told me that yesterday, or told us that yesterday? You remember? You have the brain part like me. It was just yesterday we were told about it, but somebody come to me and said, "Steve, what you're doing is a good deal." And said, "You wouldn't believe it. There's a lot more groups of people around here forming groups."
It's a lot more.
Yeah.
It's a lot of groups. All right, folks, let's see. Let's do it this way. We got Jen, we got Steven, we got about a minute left, so flip a coin, and Jen, you go, or Steven, you go, or Steven, you go, and then you go, Joe, or Steve. No, Jen says you go first.
Ladies first.
Okay.
Okay, just wanted to say thank you for watching, and please come back, because we're going to tell you how to make sure you have food when there's not a lot at the grocery stores. That's all.
That's right. That's right. Big secret.
All I got to say is that everybody be diligent, everybody watch their 6, and God bless America.
All right, folks, welcome back Thursday. Don't forget, tomorrow is the American Rebellion, 7 to 9 p.m. over on Rumble. And if you don't see the link around on Facebook, ask me, and I'll make sure everybody gets it. It's in our groups. But Jen, it was a pleasure. Stephen, it was a pleasure. William, it was a pleasure. Jerry, it was a pleasure. Randy, it was a pleasure. And we'll put you guys in your parachutes and send you on your way.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, take care, Stephen.
Bye, darling.
Hey.
Bye.
All right, Jen, we'll see you. All right, let's see. I'm going to do one quick plug for the Trump 2024 ornament, white lettering on a red background. And you've seen them. I post a picture every couple of days. They are $4 a piece, $2 for shipping, or $3 for 10. $5 for shipping makes it $15, which is a really good deal. Message me on Messenger if you have Venmo. That's the preferred method, but if you don't, we can figure out something else that works. I want to say goodnight to Jolene Kirkland Foster. Pleasure to see you watching. Melinda, always a pleasure to see you watching. Alan McMillan, it's a pleasure, I guess, to see you watching. Oh, it really is. And we scroll back up further. Jane O'Malley, a pleasure to see you watching. Daniel Blankenship, I haven't seen you around in a while. Pleasure to see you watching. Don Smithers, our technical advisor. It was a pleasure to see you in here at the beginning. And I do have to apologize because when you're sitting here and you're trying to do this and everything is going wrong, like it was, we had an audio problem today. We couldn't figure it out. I get tensed, I get stressed because in the good old days, my brain just said, well, if the mic wasn't working for someone, just play a record. If that wasn't working then, play another record. And just try to figure it out that way. So I apologize. But it's live TV, it's live radio. And you just take technology as how it goes. And tomorrow, like I said, let me switch this and I'll read it to you. Join Jerry Michaels on the American Rebellion on Rumble, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. The link is rumble.com/ambreb/live. If you need the link, message me and I'll make sure you get it. I'll post it all over our, we now have 10 groups on Facebook. And I probably can't even remember all of them, but they are American Regulators, Boogie with the Bull, Conservative Freedom Defenders, the Hardcore Conservatives Group, the Great American Nation, Mega News Nation, the United Media Group Uncensored, not to be confused with the United Media Group Uncensored. And the four that landed in my lap were Friends Who Like Red Flag News, Conservatives Worldwide, which we're working on and not quite sure what we're going to do with yet, and New Republic News 2023. And the other one, I can't remember. Also heard rumors that there might be some others being handed to us in the next few days, and we'll give you some more news when we know what is going on with them. It's that time of year, and if you have a conservative patriot group and you're going to abandon it or leave it, let us know. We have admins that want to run groups. We have moderators that want to run groups, and that's what we do. If we can help you, we will, and if we can't, we won't. Anyway, I'm Dave Logan. You're not Double B's for Victory. This Boogie with a Bull broadcast is going to come to an end because it's bedtime. I'll slide down and do it one more time. Double B's